Good morning, everybody, from a little bit rainy Poland, in a very special place, in the garden of Marcin Żmudziński. Wita Państwa, Mariusz Komsta. To be a little bit more serious, you know, I'm never trying to be very serious, but of course I need to introduce this place. Marcin, very humble person. Person who dedicated all of his career to firefighters. Also our patron, which is very important. As I told you, if you would like to record some episode, give us a chance to work on your trees, welcome. But today we in this beautiful place that he basically made by himself for many years probably. We'll talk with Marcin how it happened, what is his purpose to make bonsai and na. So today I would like to show you this garden, his humble collection, and we talk for 5-10 minutes with Marcin, what is his purpose, why he doing bonsai, and a small garden that is a little bit jewel in his probably place that he lives. Very unusual that in Poland someone have Japanese approach to the gardening. So that's very nice. Welcome, and let's have a look what's happening in this garden. Zapraszam do środka. So this is the small part of his garden, is a tokonoma, not very big, as you can see that you can make a tokonoma in very simple way. Of course the wooden house that he made by himself is very beautiful. It's not finished, he's still working on the project, but little by little this place is getting nice, warm and beautiful to be here. I have even goosebumps, but he need to a little bit work more to finish the project, because you know he's not only our patron, he's also our friend, and also attend the workshop that I have here in Poland 3 times per year. The group that is already working around 3 years, and it's a good progress. And here in tokonoma is very humble tokonoma. We don't have tables, we don't have a good slabs or this. It doesn't matter. It's the moment that we can enjoy these lyrics. Of course, he maintained these lyrics for a little bit longer than 3 years. We change a little bit front. This is not the front that will be in the future, but he works on these lyrics with a lot of passion, with a lot of dedication, and the tree is changing to become very nice lyrics in the future. Small tokonoma introducing, you know, his garden and welcome us here with the rocks that we found together in Bieszczady mountain. We had the trip together with Jacek, Bartek and Marcin in Bieszczady. We are walking in the river, and fortunately we found this rock that it can be a company. So this is totally Polish approach to the display. Lyrics from probably from the forest or whatever, and the Bieszczadzki rock from Bieszczady. We will go to different place to work. Today we will have a little bit consultation. We'll discuss many trees, we'll discuss which will be the better front, maybe which branches we need to cut, keep, and so on. So it will be very good probably episode to show you that not only wiring and styling and all of this, but also different view, because you know sometimes if you do it by yourself, if you deal with professionals, they can find a better way, a better version of the tree that is already style. I would like to talk with Marcin maybe 5-10 minutes, just quick talk, not very long, to not extend the only talking, and then you will see all the job that we have to do on the spinning table. Remember, spinning table is very important. So you know, because we are in Poland and Marcin said that he wouldn't like to talk in English, no problem. We'll conduct this episode in Polish, so remember to click subtitles. It will be in English and Spanish as always. Well, sometimes we need to talk different language, Spanish, Polish or English. At this episode, Polish, learn some Polish maybe.
Mariusz Bonsai World is internationalism.
Yes, it's international project, and I hope to see you in many, many different places in the world.
Mam od niedawna dopiero, ale założyłem sobie te lampy, żeby do pracy przede wszystkim.
No do pracy trzeba mieć dużo światła. So yes, we are practically in Marcin's garage now because his studio isn't finished yet, but he promised to do it. So when we come back, for sure. But here someday there will be an opportunity to see how he finishes it. But now we are in the garage, but this garage surprised both Bartek and me a lot. Because you see, to work on bonsai, you need space, especially space and tools and tables and seating, and also very important, the background. And now we enter this garage, and suddenly it turns out that there's practically a whole workshop here necessary for making bonsai. There's even a real mechanical saw, I mean a manual one for wood, also from Japan, but it's not about Japanese. Now I would like to tell you something. What surprised me the most here in a very positive way is this background. He made this background from just an ordinary piece of, what's it called, agrofabric. He attached it to slats with staples and he's doing a very nice job with it. Besides that, he has a white background, so when you're arranging, for example, the branch structure, it's good to move to the white background and arrange the branch structure. And if you want to see the definition and arranging clouds and so on, you need to move to the black background. So it provides the possibility, gives great possibilities, just white and agricultural fabric, which you can make yourself. Well, all right, over to Marcin. So now, from firefighting to bonsai, why did you even start making bonsai, and what caused it at all somewhere in Suleszyn, where it is? I thought it was the end of the world, really. Although it's not the end of the world, it's actually the middle of Poland, very close to the German border. So Marcin will tell us a bit about how he started with bonsai and why he's doing it at all. So I'm handing this beautiful lawnmower over to Marcin. Please.
Hello everyone, especially Master Mario, and thank you very much for honoring me with your presence. For some time now, I've been able to get under Mario's wing, and I hope we'll work together, create new projects, and that something positive and cool will come out of it. Like most people in Poland, the first contact with bonsai was probably through the film Karate Kid. There were shots of Miyagi, Master Miyagi. I still haven't seen it.
Well, you're a bit behind, that's why your bonsai doesn't look great, Bartek.
And I caught the bug. Of course, there wasn't the same internet availability back then. Later, I continued my studies in Poznań at the fire school, but after returning from Poznań, I started working at my home unit, the rescue and firefighting unit, in Suleszyn. And then slowly I was implementing, acquiring some materials. Later, the internet came along. Until a certain point, when I found out that here at the local nursery, there is Alfred Rostkowski's nursery, which, besides horticulture, is starting to create bonsai. Over 10 years ago it was. One time, when purchasing some plants for my little garden, I got permission to, let's say, go into the back area. When I entered the back of the nursery, I thought my jaw dropped. When I also found out that there were 2 bonsai artists, and I could talk to them, get a little word, a little information. Then I really entered the bonsai world, and there was no turning back, because that bug gets put aside somewhere, like in my case, for several years due to education. But once I got in there and exchanged a few words with Robert and Jacek, there was no turning back, and I still feel this way to this day. And of course, you maintain contact with Jacek. Of course, we work together very closely, supporting each other.
Okay, so Marcin, what is your goal in bonsai? How do you imagine it in the future? What would you like to achieve? What plans would you like to have? Why even bother with them any further? Why torment them when you can prune them like hedges? Why continue doing it? I'd like to know your philosophy, what I like, just to know. Bonsai philosophy, why are you doing this? How far do you want to go with these bonsais?
At first, I treated bonsai as a kind of, you could say, light hobby. But as I gathered more information, it became an art for me because bonsai is an art. And my desire is acquiring knowledge, gaining skills, and striving to find increasing pleasure in bonsai, and climbing as high as possible on that bonsai ladder.
And why aim for the top? We can stop halfway and enjoy what we've accomplished.
Well, yes, of course. At the beginning, I had the trees that I had. I started with the simplest ones, but it's like in the art of bonsai. No bonsai is ever finished, which is one of the elements of wabi-sabi. I am constantly striving for perfection, even though I know I will not achieve it. I am also somewhat of a perfectionist to a certain extent, wanting to achieve as much as possible.
So you're hungry for the effects that may come in a few years.
That's right.
You see, you need to have that bit of determination to strive for perfection. Of course, I will probably never get there. Marcin won't get there either. But we must strive. It motivates us. It really drives us to continue cultivating those bonsai even better and simply creating them. So that's the point of bonsai, that we don't stay on one level. We have to keep improving and continue to make these plants better, and the results will come sooner or later, because obviously it wasn't built instantly. So surely if you continue and put your whole heart into it, of course, professional life, family life doesn't always allow for it, but if you make it your priority, surely from every plant, from every small tree, and in collaboration with various professionals who lend you a hand, it will definitely result in success and be enjoyable. So definitely don't give up. You'll see that Marcin here, as you could see in previous episodes, shows what plants can be created. Of course, these are plants not always common and unique, but from normal plants, which, just like here, Marcin has in the garden. Even with very humble plants, you can also achieve very good effects and have a lot of fun, and you just have to prepare them a bit and so on, which is what we will be talking about today in the workshops with Marcin and so on. Well, usually I don't have any further questions, so I might pass the microphone to Bartek, and he has such a question. So maybe, Bartek, please go to this mouse.
Marcin, what does bonsai mean to you? And when you had a professional job, how did you find time to dedicate yourself to it? And what benefits or lack thereof does it bring you?
Maybe it's frustration or stress, that such things also we'll see how Marcin handles it, passing it to you.
Working as a firefighter in the operational division, I had a lot of stressful, depressive, and, you could say, traumatic situations. Somehow, a firefighter has to cope with that. And one method of de-stressing for me is working with bonsai art over the little tree. For me, it was a great reward to come in the evening after work. During the day, I did all my mandatory tasks. I took care of the family, handled what needed to be done, for my wife, for the children. You didn't forget about your wife first. Yes, the whole family, the wife, the children. Then I could sit here in my garden, take a tree in front of me, take a beer, and I experienced it here in Jagarden. I'm not afraid to use this word, nirvana.
So nirvana therapy.
Of course, it is such a relief, a calming down and striving for me. It's hard to find the right words to name it, because we're not poets or writers. We're bonsai enthusiasts and firefighters. Maybe I won't use that word, but I feel it in my soul.
Marcin is truly a special person, so I'm very glad that we can record this episode here. I haven't known Marcin for long, but he transmits such positive energy, which I wish for everyone to have and rather engage in such things, not others. Positive energy from Marcin here, this aura in Sulesin. Of course, this pursuit of perfection will mean something different for many people, a different concept. No matter how deeply you strive to reach perfection, it is important to always have that fraction of uncertainty that you will be hungry to strive for this perfection. Because if you stay in one place without development, it becomes boring. And if you have this kind of that, always have that little spark of hope that you can take it even further, and you always can, then your bonsai will definitely look much better. So I suggest, if you don't have such a character, you need to develop one. Now I will have Bartek show you how this room looks. The most important thing is to stay warm in the winter, and it's quite warm here. I have to take off some layers. I also wanted to tell you a bit about organizing the workshop. There are a lot of ideas here that I haven't even thought of yet. After so many years of making bonsai, it turns out that these ideas are really good and worth sharing. There are no secrets. I don't have secrets with you either. And yes, of course, the organization of workshops, you need to have a lot of such strange inventions, wooden ones. And of course, this is used to place under a pot to arrange different angles. It's obvious that this is very simple, but you need to have these wedges of various sizes and at different angles to be able to arrange for yourself. Arrange the pot. This is very important when it comes to shaping plants. Always these, you will use wedges for your entire life. Very important thing. Well, it's a table on wheels. You have wires and you have such wedges that you can, of course, move to the left and right, which is very helpful because efficiency of work is very important. Now, of course, some memories, some tickets, I don't know, anything, you can make yourself such a board. Of course, every workshop has such a board. Write down what needs to be fertilized, what not to water, just to organize yourself based on days and so on. Organization of the workday is very important. What do we do? When do we do it? Looking to the future. What happened, unfortunately, won't come back, but we live today and we are planning for the future. So it's very important to have such a thing. Of course, tools and so on. You can have it in a drawer. You can have it on such magnetic strips. And now I would like to talk about the magnetic strip, where I did not invent this myself, of course. And I am very glad that Marcin shared this with us. There's always a problem with scissors, with tools that we put one tool here, we put another tool there, we don't know what to do with this tool sometimes on the ground. And of course, we are looking for the tool because we don't know where, when you're thinking about shaping plants, well, unfortunately, you sometimes don't remember where you put that tool. Well, I try to keep it in my pocket, but it's a very good idea, a very good idea. Apart from that, turntables have this characteristic that when we spin the table, the tools usually fall off because we spin the table quite fast. If the scissors fall, then they'll obviously break. The tip of the scissors always snaps off, although the last scissors, which I recommended, Bonsai Plaza Matsu scissors, always fall on the handle, not on the tip, so still rarely, I don't know, maybe it happened to me, but I don't remember that tip breaking. So well-balanced scissors, after all, scissors that don't fall butter. Side down on the ground, they just fall on the side without butter. And now there's a nice situation. We don't always have the chance to have scissors in hand, and there's always a problem with these scissors because they're too long for wiring, but there's a nice vibe. And we no longer have the scissors in hand. And that's the magic. A magnetic strip that lets us stick the scissors. We won't be searching for them or asking where and what is. We just need the habit of sticking them instead of putting them anywhere. We run the wire and the scissors are here. They won't fall. It won't happen that you'll have to deal with that. This tip is broken. So Marcin, congrats on the idea. I haven't seen anything like this before. We share with you, with patrons, of course, which is why it's worth being here with us, because such situations happen that travels educate and various things can we must always, when it comes to plant styling, consider many characteristics that in the future